Alright, it's 2 p.m. Secretariat, do we have a quorum already? Ayan sila.
Sir, wala pa po si Ma'am Vani. Paakyat pa lang po, sir.
But we have Ma'am Joyce here. And about Ma'am Dayan?
Yes po. Ma'am Dayan is online, sir.
There's 3. Ilan ba kailangan for quorum?
4, sir. Emerson, wala pa.
End user, wala din?
Wala pa, sir.
Sige, tayo makapag-start ko lang quorum. Okay, sige. Good afternoon, everyone. The afternoon portion of our scheduled back child meeting for today. For records purposes, can we just have a roll call, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. This Back Charlie meeting is being streamed online through the CAAP YouTube account. Please acknowledge once your name is called. Presiding Officer, Attorney Roberto Martin Bonaventura.
Present.
Lieutenant Colonel Valentino Janela. Miss Jocelyn Ching, present. Good afternoon. Miss Amneris Gabriel.
Present. Good afternoon.
Miss Diana Ines Briñas.
Present online.
Good afternoon, ma'am. And our end user from the ADMS, Architect Emerson Salas. For the back technical working group, Attorney Frank Edward Marty.
Present. Good afternoon.
Attorney Edelisa Irugin.
Present. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Engineer Hubert Tamatak.
Present. Good
Engineer
afternoon.
Joseph Torrefranca.
Present. Good afternoon.
Engineer Michael Macabenta. Engineer Lindita Hubay.
Present.
And Miss Maria Cristina Balonon. For the back,
Present po.
Good afternoon, ma'am. For the back secretariat, our overall head, Dr. Rolly Bayaban, Irish Presion, Attorney Bo Masiglat, Engineer Sonny Villobert, Miss Rox Havillonar, Miss Sandra Serdan, Miss Ana Torrefranca, and our
Present po.
good afternoon. And sir, also in attendance are the other members of the back secretariat, sir, and our observers from the DOTR, Mr. Abelardo Sore.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. We also have our observers from COA, IAS, and the Procurement Division. That's all, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. With that, let's proceed to the item in the agenda. Secretariat, what do we have for this afternoon? Hindi ko ma-pull out yung agenda.
For this afternoon,
Where I am.
the opening of bids for the Mlang Airport Development Project, rehabilitation of passenger terminal building, construction of vehicular parking area, provision of concrete curb sidewalks, wheel stop and pavement markings at VPA, construction of 10,000 gallons steel water tank, construction of drainage system at VPA, and construction of transformer yard with the ABC of 31,576,981 pesos and 54 centavos, an ADMS DOTR downloaded project, sir.
Okay. Do we have submitted bids for this?
Yes, sir, we have 4 submitted bids for this, sir.
Sige, are the bidders present? Let's already let them in and then acknowledge them for records.
use the front seats. Thank you. Good afternoon, bidders. Sir, ma'am, please introduce yourselves and the company that you represent. May we start with you, ma'am?
I'm Cheryl Tibiernes, representative of Ruin Builders and
Good afternoon. I'm Ray Boncha from Relay Construction and Supply, based Davao City.
Hello, I'm Johnny Ramos. I'm with Relay Construction. And thank you for the merienda.
Hi, I'm Rick Agiflor from Coffee Jock Construction.
Do we have any representative of Ware Construction online? Sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Please introduce yourself and the company that you represent, sir.
I'm Brian Carlo Talan from Ware Corporation International.
Thank you, sir. That's all for the representatives, Mr. Chair.
Sige, once again, I'm Attorney Benaventura. I'm sitting as Vice Chair of the committee and I'm going to be presiding today's opening. Welcome to the BAC Charlie meeting and thank you for submitting your bid. So let's already begin with the first submitted bid in order of the submission. TWG.
Good afternoon, everyone. The first bid that we are going to open is from Relay Construction and Supply. To the representative, please. Can you confirm, sir, if this is the bid that you submit?
Confirm po.
Thank you. Inside the main envelope are two sub-envelopes, one for the technical and the financial component. The submitted financial component has tabbings, pagination, and signature each page. Checklist, please.
For the technical component submitted by Relay Construction and Supply, valid PhilJEP Certificate of Registration and Membership,
Certificate of PhilJEP's registration, platinum membership, valid until August 28, 2022, submitted.
Annex A of the Certificate of PhilJEP's Registration and Platinum Membership,
Annex A, submitted.
Registration Certificate from the SEC or the DTI or the CDA,
DTI certificate, valid until March 11, 2026, submitted.
Mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located.
Mayor's permit issued by LGU Davao City, valid until December 31, 2021, submitted.
Tax clearance,
Tax clearance, valid until November 24, 2021, submitted.
statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any.
Statement of ongoing government and private contracts, submitted.
Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, similar to the contract to be bid.
Single largest completed contract, submitted.
Pickup license,
Pickup license with signature and valid until June 30, 2022, submitted.
original copy of bid security,
Bid security in the form of bid securing declaration, signed and notarized, submitted.
project requirement, which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid,
Organizational chart submitted.
list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract to be bid,
Key personnel to be assigned to the project submitted.
list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreement,
List of equipment owned and leased or under purchase agreements to be pledged to the project submitted.
original duly signed omnibus sworn statement,
Originals omnibus sworn statement signed and notarized submitted.
certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government,
Certification of no pending case against the government signed and notarized submitted.
legal clearance issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service,
Legal clearance issued to Rely Construction and Supply signed by Attorney Roberto Martin Buenaventura submitted.
bid bulletin number 1 dated October 25, 2021.
Right here. Bid bulletin number 1 dated October 25, 2021 submitted.
Bid bulletin number 2 dated November 4, 2021.
Bid bulletin number 2 dated November 4, 2021 submitted.
Certificate of Site Inspection duly signed by Engineer Agnes B. Udang, Civil Aviation Area Manager, Area Cluster 4, or her duly authorized representative.
Certificate of Site Inspection issued to Mr. Ray Bonita, signed by Mr. Jose Emmanuel Sadam, authorized representative of Manager Agnes Odang, submitted.
Attachment to the Certificate of Site Inspection, copy of the company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection.
Company ID of Mr. Ray Bonsha, liaison officer of Rely Construction and Supply submitted.
Copy of the airport or facility visitor's logbook.
Copy of the visitor's logbook of Mlang Airport with an entry name of Mr. Ray Bonsha submitted.
Picture of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection, together with the airport manager or officer in charge or her duly authorized representative.
Copy of the picture of the proposed site together with the person who conducted the site inspection and the authorized representative of Ma'am Agnes Udang submitted.
Prospective bidders' audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total and current assets and liabilities, stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions.
Audited financial statement stamped received by BIR May 4, 2021 submitted.
Prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity.
NFCC of Rely Construction and Supply in the amount of 15,062,105,047 pesos and 4 centavos submitted.
Joint venture agreement if applicable.
Not applicable. Mr. Chair, the technical component of Rely Construction and Supply is rated as pass. The second proposal is from Coffee Jock Construction and Supply Corporation. Bidder, please. Can you confirm if this is your submitted bid? Thank you, sir. inside the main envelope are 3 envelopes, copy containing original copy of the legal, technical, and financial component, copy 1, copy 2. Inside the original document are the original technical component and the original financial component. The legal and technical component of Coffee Joke has tabbings, pagination, and signature each page. Checklist, please.
For the technical components submitted by Coffeejock Construction and Supply Corporation, valid PhilJEPS, Certificate of Registration and Membership,
Certificate of PhilJEPS registration, platinum membership, valid until June 8, 2022, submitted.
Annex A of the Certificate of PhilJEPS Registration and Platinum Membership,
Annex A, submitted.
Registration Certificate from the SEC or the DTI or CDA,
SEC registration dated March 28, 2011, submitted.
Mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located.
Mayor's permit issued by LGU Municipality of Isulan, valid until December 31, 2021, submitted.
Tax clearance,
Tax clearance, expiration date June 2, 2021. Wait, let's... Okay. An updated tax clearance valid until May 26, 2022, submitted.
statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any.
Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, submitted.
Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid.
SLCC, submitted.
Pickup license,
Pickup license, signed, valid until June 30, 2022, submitted.
original copy of bid security,
Bid security in the form of bid securing declaration, signed and notarized, submitted.
project requirements which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid,
Organizational chart, submitted.
list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract to be bid,
Key personnel to be assigned to the project, submitted.
list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement,
List of equipment to be pledged to the project, submitted.
original duly signed omnibus sworn statement,
Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized, submitted.
certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government,
Certificate of no pending case against the government. Signed, but wait. Mr. Chair, can we have one minute? We will just check the requirements, sir. Mr. Chair, may we request the representative of Coffee Joke? Sir, can you please come over here to check lang the document, sir? Sir, Mr. Chair, the submitted certificate of no pending case against the government by Coffee Joke doesn't contain any notarization, which actually our requirement under the BDS 10.1 letter J number 1, we require a certification which should be under oath attesting that they have no pending case or cases against the government. Sir? Sir, pa-check lang po. Na-confirm lang po namin na walang notarization. Hindi siya notaryado. Okay po. Sige po, sir. Mr. Chair, we would like to put on record that the representative of Coffee Joke Construction and Supply Corporation confirmed that the certification for no pending case against the government does not have any, is not notarized or doesn't contain any portion, notarization portion. So with that, Mr. Chair, pursuant to section 10.1, letter J number 1, which expressly provides that certification, the original duly signed omnibus sworn statement shall include the following documents as attached to the omnibus sworn statement. Number 1, certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case or cases against the government in addition to the eligibility requirements as prescribed under 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations RIRR of 9184. With that, Mr. Chair, the Technical Working Group hereby recommends the disqualification of Coffee Joke Construction Supply Corporation.
All right, thank you, Attorney Frank. Do you have any comments or queries from our members? There's a recommendation for the disqualification in view of the failure the bidder to comply with the submission of the certification of no pending case, which is required to be sworn and notarized under the bid documents, the instruction to bidders. Members, do you have any motion?
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I so move to disqualify Coffee Joke Construction Supply Corporation due to non-submission of the omnibus sworn statement on no pending case. Due to the non-submission of a notarized omnibus sworn statement on no pending case. Seconded.
Ay, hindi pala ako naririnig. Hi, sorry, let me just reiterate. There being a motion duly seconded, the recommendation of the TWG for the disqualification of Coffee Jock for having failed to comply with the submission of the certification of no pending case, which is supposedly notarized, is hereby adopted. Secretariat, can we inform the bidder of their options?
Sir, to the representative of Coffee Jock, sir, will your company be filing a motion for reconsideration for the disqualification, sir?
Meron po, ma'am, for motion for reconsideration, ma'am.
In view of that, sir, the BAC Secretariat will be resealing your submitted bid, sir, and you have 3 days from today to file for your motion for reconsideration. In the meantime, the BAC Secretariat will be resealing your submitted bid, and it shall be open should the Bids and Awards Committee, Charlie, grant your motion for reconsideration, sir.
Sige po. Thank you po.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That being said, let's move on. TWG.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The third proposal is from Roem Builders and Construction Supply. Representative, please. Ma'am, can you confirm if this is your bid? Thank you po. Inside the submitted envelope or two envelopes, the original eligibility and technical component and the original financial component. Sige, Mike. The eligibility and technical component has tubbings, pagination, and signature each page. Checklist, please.
For the technical component submitted by Roem Builders and Construction Supply, valid PhilJEP certificate of registration and membership.
Certificate of PhilJEP's registration, platinum membership, valid until September 4, 2022, submitted.
Annex A of the certificate of PhilJEP's registration and platinum membership.
Annex A, submitted.
Registration certificate from the SEC or the DTI or the CDA.
DTI certificate, valid until May 8, 2024, submitted.
Mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located.
Mayor's permit issued by LGU San Francisco Agusan del Sur, valid until December 31, 2021, submitted.
Tax clearance.
Tax clearance, valid until August 24, 2022, submitted.
Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any.
Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, submitted.
Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, similar to the contract to be bid.
Statement of single largest completed contract, submitted.
Pickup license.
Pickup license with signature and valid until June 30, 2022, submitted.
Original copy of bid security.
Bid security in the form of bid securing declaration, signed and notarized, submitted.
Project requirements, which will include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid.
Organizational chart, submitted.
List of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract to be bid.
Key personnel to be assigned to the project, submitted.
List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement.
List of equipment to be pledged to the project, submitted.
Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement.
Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized, submitted.
certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government.
Affidavit of no pending case against the government, signed and notarized. Submitted.
Legal clearance issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service.
Legal clearance issued to Rowing Builders and Construction Supply, signed by Attorney Roberto Martin Buenaventura, submitted.
Bid Bulletin Number 1 dated October 25, 2021.
Bid Bulletin Number 1 dated October 25, 2021, submitted.
Bid Bulletin Number 2 dated November 4, 2021.
Bid Bulletin Number 2 dated November 4, 2021, submitted.
Certificate of Site Inspection duly signed by Engineer Agnes Udang, Civil Aviation Area Manager, Area Cluster 4, or her duly authorized representative.
Certificate of Site Inspection issued to Mr. Jemuel Pashal, issued by Mr. Jose Emmanuel Sedam, authorized representative of Ma'am Agnes Udang, submitted.
Attachment to the Certificate of Site Inspection, copy of the company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection.
Company ID of Mr. Jemuel S. Pashal, from Rowing Builders and Construction Supply, submitted.
Copy of the airport or facility visitor's logbook.
Copy of the visitor's logbook with an entry name of here. Jemuel Pashal, dated November 3, 2021, submitted.
Picture of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection, together with the airport manager or officer in charge or her duly authorized representative.
Picture of the proposed site and the person who conducted the site inspection, together with the representative of Ma'am Agnes Udang, submitted.
Prospective bidders' audited financial statements, showing among others the prospective bidders' total and current assets and liabilities, stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions.
Audited financial statement, stamped received by BIR. Dated February 18, 2021, submitted.
Prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity.
NFCC of Rowing Builders in the amount of 1,369,471,093 pesos and 36 centavos, submitted.
Joint venture agreement if applicable.
Not applicable. The submitted eligibility and technical component of Rowing Builders and Construction Supply is rated as passed. The last proposal is from Ware Corporation International. Representative, please.
Yes, good afternoon. It is our bid.
Thank you, sir. Inside the main envelope are two main envelopes, the original bid and copy one. The original envelope are the original technical component and the original financial component. information, is properly tabbed, paginated with pagination and signature each page. Checklist please.
For the technical components submitted by Ware Corporation International, valid PhilJobs certificate of registration and membership,
Certificate of PhilJobs registration, platinum membership, valid until June 3, 2022, submitted.
Annex A of the certificate of PhilJobs registration and platinum membership,
Annex A submitted.
registration certificate from the SEC or the DTI or CDA,
SEC registration dated January 15, 1986, submitted.
mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located,
Mayor's permit issued by Muntinlupa City, valid until or expiration with an expiration date January 20, 2022, submitted.
tax clearance,
Tax clearance expiration date January 18, 2022, submitted.
statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any.
Statement of ongoing government and private contracts, submitted.
Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract.
Statement of single largest completed contract, submitted.
Pickup license.
Pickup license with signature and valid until June 30, 2022, submitted.
Original copy of bid security.
Bid security in the form of bid securing declaration, signed and notarized, submitted.
Project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid.
Contractors, organizational chart, submitted.
List of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract to be bid.
Key personnel to be assigned to the project, submitted.
List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreement.
List of equipment, submitted.
Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement.
Omnibus sworn statement, signed and notarized, submitted.
Certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government.
Certificate of no pending case against the government, signed and notarized, submitted.
Legal clearance issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service.
Legal clearance issued to Ware Corporation, signed by Attorney Joseph Ray Gumabon, submitted.
Bid Bulletin Number 1 dated October 25, 2021.
Bid Bulletin Number 1 dated October 25, 2021, submitted.
Bid Bulletin Number 2 dated November 4, 2021.
Bid Bulletin Number 2, November 4, 2021, submitted.
Certificate of Site Inspection, duly signed by Engineer Agnes Udang, Civil Aviation Area Manager, Area Cluster 4, or her duly authorized representative.
Certificate of Site Inspection issued to Engineer Royod, issued by Jose Emmanuel Sadam, representative of Ma'am Agnes Udang, submitted.
Attachment to the Certificate of Site Inspection, copy of the company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection.
Company ID of Project Engineer Royod of Ware Corporation, submitted.
Copy of the airport or facility visitor's logbook.
Visitor's logbook of Mlang Airport with the entry name Engineer Ryan Royod, submitted.
Picture of the proposed site, including the person who conducted the site inspection, together with the airport manager, officer in charge, or her duly authorized representative.
Picture of the proposed site together with the person who conducted the site inspection and Mr. Emmanuel Sadam, submitted.
Prospective bidders' audited financial statements, showing among others the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities, stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions.
Audited financial statement, stamped received by BIR, dated date of filing, June 30, 2022, submitted.
Prospective,
Sorry. June 3, 2021 submitted.
Prospective bidders, sorry. Prospective bidders computation of net financial contracting capacity.
NFCC of Ware Corporation in the amount of 5,361,023,620 pesos and 55 centavos submitted.
Joint venture agreement if applicable.
Not applicable. The technical component of Ware Corporation International is rated as pass.
Madam Chairperson, can I manifest something regarding your issuance of bid bulletin number 1? And I quote, you stated that each bidder shall submit one copy of the first and second components of its bid. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be automatically disqualified. I noticed that the bidder submitted 2 sets of their bid proposals, original and copy 1. In that case, may I respectfully ask the chairperson to make a ruling if the submission is valid?
Apologies, medyo hindi ko
In
po
view
nakuha.
of the issuance of bid bulletin number 1.
Attorney Frank, can you summarize please for the back members, please?
Mr. Chair, the representative from what company?
Relay.
From Relay Construction, actually, Relay Construction, Mr. Chair, would like to seek clarification on whether on the acceptability of the submission of the bidder who submitted copy 1 and copy 2 instead of just 1 copy, Mr. Chair.
Okay. I believe Attorney Frank, we have a provision on that regarding submission of extra copies. That it shall not be ground for disqualification, but we can request it. So excess of copies actually is not an issue. Kaya nga namin ginawang 1 yan dahil maraming issue yung 2 copies before. Para isa lang ang sasubmit. But if they wish to submit more, wala naman po prohibition, sir. Attorney Frank, can we cite that?
Yes, sir. We are now checking the bid document, sir.
The issue here is they submitted more than what's required. Is that it, Attorney Frank?
Yes, sir. That's correct, sir. But we are checking the document, sir, because it is expressly provided in the ITB, sir, that submitted extra copies would not be a ground for disqualification. In fact, we can request submission of additional copies. So what is required is only submission of at least 1 copy, original technical and financial component.
So yun po.
Mr.
Yes, Frank.
The Secretariat will now be sharing the screen, the provisions under section 16 of the instructions to bidders. Attorney Irish, can you please read the entire provision, please?
Sir, it states that each bidder shall submit 1 copy of the first and second components of its bid. The procuring entity may request additional hard copies and or electronic copies of the bid. However, failure of the bidders to comply with said request shall not be a ground for disqualification. If the procuring entity allows the submission of bids through online submission to the given website or any other electronic means, the bidder shall submit an electronic copy of its bid, which must be digitally signed. An electronic copy that cannot be opened or is corrupted shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified.
And that's precisely the reason why we dispense with the previous, in the previous PAC proceedings, we dispense with the requirement of more than one because it brought about a lot of confusion. So you're only requiring one copy as really is required under the rules. Should they be submitting multiple copies, we'll just disregard the other copies. Okay.
So what's the ruling, Madam Chairman?
That's the ruling, sir. It's not a ground for disqualification.
It
So
is
one
a ground?
copy, it is not a ground. Submitting of 2 or 10 copies is actually not a
In this
ground.
case, what's the purpose of this bid bulletin number 1?
Because previously, sir, we would require more than one copy. We would actually require 2 copies. That bid bulletin is really just to emphasize the previous instruction, just to require one copy.
But this one is very clear, Your Honor. It says each bidder shall submit one copy of the first and second component. There is no other interpretation into this provision.
Yes, yes, sir. I understand. That's why, sir, can you let me speak, please?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm already ruling this. Okay, if you want to file a motion, go ahead, sir. With all due respect, we disregard the other copies. Let's already proceed because this is wasting my time. Okay?
All right.
Just file your manifestation, sir. With all due respect. Okay, we already noted your manifestation. We answered it. We provided a legal basis. If you wish to argue more, just put it in writing, file it with the necessary filing fees. We'll answer it, sir. Yun lang po, sir. Let's just
Your
proceed.
Honor. Thank you.
Okay?
Mr. Chair, we would like to proceed with the opening of the financial component.
Go ahead.
So the first the first submission is from Rely Construction. The submitted financial component has tabbings, pagination, and signature each page. Checklist, please.
For the financial component submitted by Rely, Construction, and Supply, original copy of signed bid prices in the bill of quantities.
Bill of quantities submitted.
Summary of bid proposal.
Summary of bid proposal submitted.
Bill of materials and cost estimates.
Bill of quantities and cost estimates submitted.
Summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials used in coming up with the bid.
Summary for unit prices of materials submitted.
Summary sheet indicating the unit prices for labor.
Summary for unit prices of labor submitted.
Summary sheet indicating unit prices for equipment rentals.
Summary for unit prices of equipment submitted.
Cash flow by quarter and payment schedule.
Cash flow by quarter and payment schedule submitted.
Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form.
The financial bid of Rely Construction and Supply in the amount of 27,787,743 pesos and 76 centavos with no discount and within the ABC. It's 27,787,743 pesos and 76 centavos. The next financial bid is from Roem Builders. The submitted financial component has tabbings, pagination, and signature each page. Checklist, please.
For the financial component submitted by Roem Builders and Construction Supply, original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities.
Bill of quantities submitted.
Summary of bid proposal.
Summary of bid proposal submitted.
Bill of materials and cost estimates.
Bill of materials and cost estimates submitted.
sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials used in coming up with the bid.
Summary for unit prices of materials submitted.
Summary sheet indicating unit prices for labor.
Summary for unit prices of labor submitted.
Summary sheet indicating unit prices for equipment rentals.
For equipment submitted.
Cash flow by quarter and payment schedule.
Cash flow by quarter and payment schedule submitted.
Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form.
The financial bid of Rowing Builders in the amount of 29,363,173 pesos and 58 centavos with no discount. 29,363,173 pesos and 58 centavos with no discount within the ABC. The last financial document that we are going to open is from Ware Corporation International. Financial component has tabbings, pagination, and signature each page. Checklist, please.
For the financial component submitted by Ware Construction International, original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities.
Bill of quantities submitted.
Summary of bid proposal.
Summary of bid proposal submitted.
Bill of materials and cost estimates.
Bill of materials and cost estimates submitted.
Summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials used in coming up with the bid.
Summary for unit prices of materials submitted.
Summary sheet indicating the unit prices for labor.
Summary for unit prices of labor submitted.
Summary sheet indicating the unit prices for equipment rentals.
Summary for unit prices of equipment submitted.
Cash flow by quarter and payment schedule.
Cash flow by quarter and payment schedule submitted.
Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form.
Financial bid of Ware Corporation International in the amount of 30,306,670 pesos and 11 centavos with no discount. Again, it's 30,306,670 pesos and 11 centavos with no discount and within the ABC. Mr. Chair, here is the result of the submitted bids. Number 1 is from Rely Construction and Supply. Number 2 is from Rowing Builders Construction and Supply. And number 3 is from Ware Corporation International. So with this, Mr. Chair, the technical working group recommends that the submitted bid of Ware Corporation, Rely Construction Supply, and Rowing Builders to undergo bid evaluation for having passed the pass-fail criteria during the opening of bids to determine the completeness of bids and correct any mathematical or arithmetical corrections for consideration and approval of the committee.
All right, thank you, TWG. This juncture, our members, do you have any questions regarding the presentation? If there's none, can we have a motion, please?
Through the chair,
Yes, Colonel.
I move for the recommendations of the technical working group that the 3 bidders shall undergo bid evaluations to further verify and check the documents.
Okay. Do you have any second?
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ma'am Vani. There being a motion duly seconded, the recommendation of the TWG for the conduct of bid evaluation for the three bidders that have been evaluated as passed for the opening of bids is hereby adopted. So TWG will just schedule the presentation of the results of the bid evaluation. This is for the determination of the completeness of bids and for any mathematical arithmetical corrections in the computation of the bid values. Okay. So for the bidders, we will just inform you of the results of the bid evaluation. We will still put this in the agenda and will be streamed live online as well. Okay. With that, let's already close this matter. Thank you for attending. The bidders are hereby dismissed.
Thank you, bidders.
Mr. Chair, our meeting room is clear, sir.
All right. Thank you. Do we have anything else for the agenda today?
For our second agenda, sir, the pre-bid conference for the supply and delivery of communications equipment for Catbalogan Airport in the amount of 5,948,000 an ANS DOTR downloaded project, sir.
Okay. Do we have prospective bidders for this?
Sir, one bidder inquired, sir. However, they are not yet logged in, sir.
Nevertheless, this was already published and scheduled. So let's just proceed with it, regardless of there's any bidders present. In any case, this is an online forum, so maybe some prospective bidders are viewing this. Who will be presenting this end user?
Engineer Jofet Torrefranca, sir, will present, sir.
Sige, go ahead, engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the pre-bid conference for the project Supply and Delivery of Communications Equipment for the Catbalogan Airport under bid number 21028-10 Charlie. The presentation outlines the project background and duration, the invitation to bid, the instruction to bidders with the corresponding BDS, the general conditions of the contract with the corresponding SCC, and then the checklist, and later at the later part is the discussion or clarification regarding the project. For project background and duration, this project is a downloaded project from DOTR under the 2021 DOTR CAAP MOA for labeled as FLR or for later release. The scope includes the supply and delivery of IP-based 50-watt VHF AM transmitter and receiver radios, complete with antenna system and 8-channel voice logging system and its ancillaries. The project duration is 180 calendar days. Okay, so CAAP through the DOTR MOA 2021 intends to apply the sum of 5,948,000 being the ABC to payment under the contract for this project. And for the Catbalogan Airport, 4 VHF AM transmitter is required and 4 AM receiver is required, with 1 lot antenna system and other accessories, to include voice logging system, also 8-channel. CAAP now invites for bids for the above procurement project, and the delivery of goods is required within 180 calendar days. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date of submission of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 of Instruction to Bidders. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorship partnerships or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines, and to citizens or organizations of a country, the laws or regulations of which grant similar rights or privileges to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA 5183. Okay. Prospective bidders may obtain further information from CAAP and inspect the bidding documents at the address given during or at from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the back office, and the complete set of bidding documents may be required starting the 5th of November until the 26th of November, 2 p.m. from CAAP BAC office at Mir Road, Pasay City, and upon payment of applicable fee for the bidding document, pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 11,200, which is already inclusive of the 12% VAT. The bidding document may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilJeps and the website of CAAP, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the office given on or before 26th of November 2021 at 2 p.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 14. The bid opening shall be on the 26th of November, 2 p.m., CAAP back office, and or via online conference through Google Meet. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend activity. CAAP reserves the right to reject, and all bids declare a failure bidding or not award a contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 revised IRR of 9184, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, you may refer to Dr. Rolly Bayaban or the overall head PAC Secretariat at CAAP at the given telephone number. For instruction to bidders with corresponding BDS, on the left side of the screen is the text or the statements prescribed under the instruction to bidders, and on the right side of the screen is the bid data sheet. So we'll be discussing those sections under the ITB with the bid data sheet. Under Section 5, eligible bidders, specifically for 5.3, for this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be supply and delivery of air traffic control tower communications equipment, and letter B, completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Under subcontracts, 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed for this project. Under 10.1, documents comprising the bid eligibility and technical components. 10.1 of the bid data sheet, letter A, per CAAP requirement. All prospective bidders shall be required to submit the following. Number 1, certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case or cases against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements for the bidders as prescribed under 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. And number 2, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pendency of any cases prospective bidders against the authority. Letter B, accomplished revised Annex A ITB 10.1. For applicable items, the bidder shall indicate in the technical component on a separate sheet using the revised Annex A ITB 10.1 form the brand, type, and or model or version and quantities or unit of each of the proposed equipment or subsystems and ancillaries. This document shall be signed by the bidder's authorized representative. The bill of quantities with corresponding price schedules in the accomplished financial form shall be consistent with and reference to all plans, designs, and layouts submitted in the technical bid proposal. This is the for the reference of the bidders. This is the revised Annex A ITB 10.1 form, which is included in the published bidding document for your reference. Also, letter C of 10.1, checklist requirements. Bid opening requirements sorry, as specified in the section 8 checklist of technical and financial documents. Please take note that bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. As an illustration, this is the example of a certificate of site inspection, which is also included in the, the format of the certificate of the site inspection, which is also included in the bidding document. Under ITB Section 12 for bid prices, the price of goods shall be quoted DDP at Catbalogan Airport, or the applicable international commercial terms for this project. Under Section 12.1, letter A, Roman numeral number 4, incidental services for goods offered from within the Philippines include but are not limited to the following. All expenses for the processing of permits and licenses shall be part of the price schedule of the equipment. Number 2, provision and delivery of cables, grounding, surge protection, and other additional or auxiliary electronic or electrical adapter, signal converters, connectors, components, fixtures, interface, fittings and mounting kits, cable management, etc. for the different equipment to meet the operational and functional requirements. Prices for these incidentals shall be incorporated to the equipment listed in the BOQ of the schedule of requirements to which it is primarily related. Number 3, importation licenses and permits. Under Section 12.1b, Roman numeral number 2, for incidental services for goods offered from abroad include but are not limited to the following. Number 1, provision and installation of cables, grounding, surge protection, and other additional or auxiliary electronic or electrical adapter, signal converters, connectors, components, fixtures, interface, fittings, cable management, etc. for the different equipment to meet operational and functional requirements. Prices for these incidentals shall be incorporated to the equipment listed in the BOQ of the schedule of requirements to which it is primarily related. Number 2, export licenses and permits. Number 3, installation, operational maintenance, and other forms of manuals, system, and circuit diagrams. For ITB Section 14, under bid security, the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. Letter A, the amount of not less than 2% of the ABC if the bid security is in cash or cashier's or manager's check, bank draft or guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit, or letter B, the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if the bid security is in surety bond. Under Section 15, for marking and sealing or sealing and marking of bids, Number 1, each and every page thereof shall be initialed or signed by the duly authorized representatives or representative of the bidder. Submitted eligibility, technical, and financial documents shall be properly marked with index tabs or ear tabs and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in the form of, for example, page 3 of 100. Page number of last page of the document shall be in per envelope basis. Pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole documents inside the envelope. Number 2, each bidder shall submit only one original copy of the first and the second components of its bid. Please take note, bidders, that bids not complying with the above instructions shall be automatically disqualified. Just an illustration for the pagination and the table of contents and the index tabs for the project. Next, instruction to bidders, section 16.1. The bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission. The address for submission of bids is the BAC Office, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines at Old Mia Road, Pasay City, Philippines. For detailed evaluation and comparison of bids under 19.3, partial bid is not allowed. The goods are grouped in a single lot and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. Under section 20.1, all supplier documentation necessary for the supply or delivery of the project shall be signed by the professional electronics engineer or as mandated by RA 9292 of the bidder or its authorized representative. The contractor shall be responsible for securing all necessary permits such as electrical or civil works permits, permit to import, NTC, security pass, and other local permits from respective offices that may be necessary for the supply and delivery of the equipment at site. The cost of acquiring such permits, including its processing, shall be borne by the contractor. Also, for 21.1, the following documents shall be submitted together with the technical proposal. Number 1, a certificate of exclusive or authorized distributorship issued by the OEM of the supplied equipment. Number 2, ISO certificates or its internationally recognized equivalent of the manufacturer, ISO 9001 or 14001 and the product. Number 3, latest official OEM equipment technical characteristics, specifications, and or sales materials, reflecting all performance and functional specifications of proposed equipment. Bidders who fail to comply with this section shall be disqualified. For GCC, with the corresponding SCC, under scope of contract for delivery and documents, for purposes of this clause, the procuring entity's representative at the project site shall be the ANS Field Office Chief, Mr. Ambrosio Madriaga at the given telephone number, or any ANS authorized representative at Catbalogan Airport. For also under the scope of contract for incidental services requirement, an additional requirement, letter F, the contractor or supplier shall warrant the entire equipment, assemblies, software, and related integration or site works for 1 year period, for 1 year warranty period for the parts and service. For the listed items or equipment with defects that occur within the warranty period and requiring the equipment to be shut down for repair service, the contractor or supplier shall provide and install a service equipment with equivalent performance as temporary replacement of the defective part, which is stated above, in order to maintain the communication capability of the ANF. The contractor or supplier shall describe the proposed support provisions within the warranty period. The contractor or supplier shall submit an OEM issued guarantee that the availability of spare parts for the equipment supplied shall be at least 10 years after the project acceptance. The contract price for the goods shall include the prices charged by the supplier for incidental services and shall not exceed the prevailing rates charged to other parties by the supplier for similar services. For Section 2.2, under advance payment and terms of payment, this is a turnkey project. Payment will be after issuance of project completion, certification of CAAP. Under inspection and test, special conditions, Section 4, the inspection and test that will be conducted are factory acceptance test report verification. The procuring entity or its representative shall have the right to inspect and or test the goods to confirm their conformity to contract specifications. Inspections to be conducted will cover but not limited to the following. Letter A, an OEM validated test document on the 50-watt VHF transmitter and receiver radios. Letter B, verification or inspection of auxiliary radio equipment tests and conformity to contract specifications for communication systems. Letter C, verification inspection of available channels and conformity to contract specifications for the voice logging system. For the checklist, the flash on the screen are the requirements for the technical component envelope. So CAAP expects that the legal documents such as the field jobs registration, certification, mayor's or business permit, and tax clearance are included in the technical component envelope, including technical documents stated in the checklist. Also inside the technical component envelope shall be the financial documents of the bidder, such as the audited financial statements, the NFCC, okay, and also, if applicable, the joint venture agreement or a duly notarized statement from all potential joint venture partners, and any other documentary requirements under 9184 as applicable. For the financial envelope, CAAP expects that the financial component include only the original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and the original signed and accomplished price schedules. The price schedules may either be the goods offered from within the Philippines and price schedule for goods offered from abroad as applicable. And these forms may be downloaded via the GPPB website at the given website link. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Any further discussion and clarification, the bidders may raise any question, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Sir Jofet. That's all the presentation. Tapos na ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. At this juncture, we open the floor for any queries regarding the provisions as presented from our members, TWG, as well as the Secretariat, if there's any.
Mr. Chair, this is for the pre-bid, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Frank.
Mr. Chair, this is pre-bid, Mr. Chair. We do not have any...
Yeah, apologies. I thought this was pre-proc. I'm sorry.
We do not have any bidders, Mr.
Chair. Wala pa rin pumasok from online?
Wala po, sir.
Okay. Sige, given that there's no prospective bidders, we only presented it for due compliance to the rules. Then let us already proceed with the next step. This will be set for opening already.
Yes, sir.
May schedule na ba tayo? So maybe we can announce it online.
Yes, sir. The opening of the deadline for the submission and opening of bids, sir, is on November 26, 2 p.m., sir.
November 26. All right, sige. Let's just make the necessary postings, whatever needs to be posted, in order to notify all prospective bidders. Okay, with that, let's already close this matter. Do we have any other matters?
Mr. Chair, if for the TWG, if the BAC would allow, we will be presenting the post-qualification report for the Basco Coconut project. This will be a short presentation, Mr. Chair.
Sorry, choppy sa akin. Nahirapan ako sa signal ko. Again, Frank, sorry.
Sir, if the BAC would allow, sir, we will be presenting the Basco Airport Development Project CY 2021 project.
This is the POSCO.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, POSCO report? Okay, sige. If there's no objections from the members, this is not in the agenda, di ba?
Not in the agenda, sir, but in order for us to expedite the procurement of these projects, sir.
Okay, sige, go ahead, please.
Okay, I will be sharing my screen. So good afternoon, everyone. Again, this is the presentation of the post-qualification report for the Basco Airport Development Project CY 2021, extension of runway 06, including strip rig correction and slope protection using coconut bioengineering. The approved budget of the contract is 30,971,637 pesos and 55 centavos, and we opened the bids last October 11, 2021. The name of the bidder with the lowest calculated bid is St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation with a calculated bid of 27,582,074 pesos and 37 centavos. So here are our findings. First, for the field job certificate of registration, the submission is responsive. The submitted field job certificate is valid until March 28, 2022. For the registration certificate, they submitted a registration certificate from the Securities and Exchange Commission dated November 9, 2015 with company registration number CS 2015-22379, so responsive. Business or mayor's permit, the submission is responsive. They submitted a mayor's permit issued by Pasig City LGU, and it is valid until December 31, 2021, submitted. Responsive, I'm sorry. For tax clearance, the submission is responsive as well. The tax clearance submitted is valid until February 26, 2022. For the pickup license, the project requires medium A license category B for road, highway, pavement, railways, airport, horizontal structures, and bridges. And the submission of St. Matthew is large A category AAA, and it is within the requirements. It is also valid until June 30, 2022. So it is responsive. For the statement of all ongoing and government contracts, the submission of St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation failed to disclose all of its ongoing projects. So we will be showing later the certification we got or the list of ongoing projects that we got from the DPWH. So it is not responsive. For the SLCC, the submitted project is concreting and construction of new road going to the rest house and farmland and parking area at Sampalucan Street, Barangay Pagkaliwa-Linawan, Halahala, Rizal. And the contract amount is 151,889,321 pesos and 93 centavos. So it is
responsive since it is similar to the project that we are for the contract to be bid, and it is more than the ABC, 50% of the ABC of the project. For the audited financial statement, the submission is responsive. They submitted the AFS for fiscal year 2019-2020, stamped received by BIR, April 15, 2021. For the bidder's computation of NFCC, the NFCC of St. Matthew in the amount of 1,040,098,813 pesos is more than the ABC of the project, so it is responsive. For the joint venture agreement, it is not applicable in this case. For the technical document, bid security, they submitted a duly notarized bid securing declaration. It is responsive. For the organizational chart, it met the minimum required technical personnel as per invitation to bid. It is responsive. List of contractors personnel, it is also responsive since the minimum requirement is met. For the omnibus sworn statement, they submitted a duly notarized omnibus sworn statement. It is responsive. Certificate of site inspection. The site inspection was conducted by Mr. Mark Giovanni Pajudpud, and the certificate of site inspection was issued by Ms. Louis Asantor, the OIC of Basco Airport, so it is responsive. Photocopy of company ID, they also submitted the company ID of Mr. Pajudpud, so it is responsive. Photocopy of airport visitors logbook, they also submitted the CAAP logbook and with the entry name of Mr. Mark Pajudpud, so it is responsive. Bid bulletin number 1. Bid bulletin number 1 dated 10 September 2021 was attached to the submission, so it is responsive. For the second envelope financial bid, the offered bid is 30,871,654 pesos and 70 centavos with 10.71% discount. So the offered bid amounts to 27,565,300 pesos and 48 centavos. After bid evaluation and applying the discount, the calculated bid is in the amount of 27,582,074 pesos and 37 centavos. So the difference from the ABC is 3,389,563 pesos and 18 centavos. This is responsive and it is bid within the ABC. For the bill of quantities, it is they submitted the bill of quantities in accordance with the bidding form, so it is responsive. Bid proposal, it's also in accordance with the bidding forms, it's responsive. Detailed estimates, it is responsive. They conform with the forms for this project. For summary sheet for materials, labor, and equipment, it is also responsive as it complies with the bidding forms of the project. Cash flow by quarter, it is in accordance with the bidding form, so it is responsive. So for the submitted post-qualification documents, they submitted the latest income and business tax returns for the business period September 2021, so it is responsive. Other appropriate licenses, they submitted the PhilJobs registration, updated PCAB license with signature, SEC registration, mayor's permit, and updated tax clearance. So it is responsive. Latest audited financial statement, it is also responsive. And for key personnel, all the licenses and accreditations were submitted, so it is responsive. In the submitted list of all ongoing government and private projects of St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation, only one infrastructure project is listed. However, during our post-qualification visit and validation, we had it yesterday, the TWG found that St. Matthew has other DPWH ongoing projects that are not included in the submitted list. So, this is actually the list that we obtained, Mr. Chair, officially from the DPWH as we wrote DPWH requesting for the list of ongoing projects of St. Matthew. So they have here we have here 58 pages of list of ongoing projects. So just to cite an example, this project, item number 1, construction of flood control structures, Ilog Bayan, Las Piñas City. They have a negative slippage here under letter D of negative 100%. This is not included in the list. I just also want to cite another example. Retrofitting, strengthening of CP Garcia Bridge along Seafide Road, Pasig City. They have a negative slippage of negative 98.98%. So there are others. So this document consists of 58 pages. So clearly there are many projects which are not included in the list of ongoing projects as submitted by St. Matthew. So we quote here the GPPB non-policy matter, which provides that failure to declare ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, is a ground for disqualification. These contracts, as reflected in the statement of all ongoing contracts, are vital to the computation of the net financial contracting capacity of the bidder, and they are necessary information during the post-qualification stage to verify, validate, and ascertain the technical qualification of the lowest calculated bidder for the ultimate determination of whether it is the lowest calculated responsive bidder. So with that, Mr. Chair, the Technical Working Group hereby recommends that St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation be post-disqualified for non-disclosure of all its ongoing projects. And subsequent to that, we also would like to recommend that the second lowest calculated bidder, in this case, the Ware Corporation International, to undergo post-qualification process for approval and consideration of the committee. Thank you, sir.
All right, maraming salamat, Attorney Frank. Just a question are we talking about here for this project?
Sir, I'm sorry, sir. Nakat po kayo, sir.
Dalawa lang yung bidder?
Tatlo yung bidder, sir, na disqualify po yung isa during the opening of bids. So dalawa na lang po sila na nakapasa during bid evaluation.
So this would be the last bidder?
Yes, sir. Ware Corporation would be the last bidder for post-qualification process.
Okay. Sorry, am I still coming choppy?
Medyo, sir.
Please allow me to just reconnect. At this point lang, we'll just the floor for the members who will reconnect. Excuse me for a few seconds. Other members, if you have comments, please raise it. Thank you.
Sir, your line is choppy.
Hello, Frank.
Sir, you're coming
How
clear
about
now.
Okay, how about now? Okay. So yun, do we have any further questions from our other bidders? If there's none, maybe we can have a motion, please.
Through the chair.
Other members, I mean. Yes, ma'am.
I move for the declaration for this disqualification of St. Matthew Construction being non-responsive for non-disclosure of all its ongoing projects, and likewise move for the post-qualification of Ware Corporation being the second lowest calculated bidder. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. There being a motion duly seconded, the recommendation for the post-disqualification of St. Matthew General Contractor and Development Corporation is hereby adopted. And accordingly, for the conduct of post-qualification process for the bid of Ware Corporation International for having submitted the next lowest calculated bid, as hereby ordered. Let's just schedule. That's already issued the notices necessary for the disqualification as well as the notices for post-qual.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, is there anything else?
One last item, Mr. Chair.
What is it?
The BAC Secretariat, Mr. Chair, received a letter from Uplift Construction and Development Corporation requesting for extension of submission for the project construction of new passenger terminal building phase 1 at Osamis Airport. We are scheduled to open the bids, or the deadline of submission is on November 17, 2021, and they are requesting for extension due to site inspection. They encountered difficulty on the travel to Osamis, Mr. Chair.
What project is this? Osamis Development Project?
Yes, sir.
17 is next week.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. What was the issue with the site inspection?
Sir, according to the bidder, they encountered difficulty on the travel to Osamis, and they cannot submit on time due to these travel restrictions.
All right. Do we have any comments from the members regarding this matter? This is the first extension, if ever, Frank.
Yes, sir. This is the first extension. Should we grant this? But
Do you have comments or objections from our members?
But if I may, sir, we have not received any other requests, sir, from any other bidders, only from Uplift, sir.
Yes. But they're citing a reason which is you mean to say the other bidders were able to do the site inspection without issue?
We haven't received any feedback from other bidders, sir.
Okay. Do you have any objections from the members or comments regarding this? Yes, ma'am. Ako ba yun? Hindi ko naintindihan po.
Ma'am Dayan, you're not coming clear po.
Okay.
Did you check if there's really a travel restriction?
Ma'am Dayan, sorry, we cannot understand. You're garbled po.
Sige, okay na lang. No comments.
So, ko na si Ma'am Dayan. Tinatanong nga ni Ma'am Dayan kung ano yung travel restrictions, if there's any, did we verify?
We are to verify, Mr. Chair, the restrictions for now.
So, hindi natin alam kung may restriction ba talaga or wala. Tama naman si Ma'am Dayan sa tanong na yun because that's very vital, that's very crucial. If there's restriction, then it would be unfair for the bidders who are not able to do so due to circumstances beyond their control. So, can we verify, please?
Yes, sir. We are now checking, sir.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ma'am Joyce.
Opo. Sir, gusto ko lang din malaman kung ilang araw yung hinihingi nilang extension sana.
Attorney Frank, is there a particular timeline?
In the letter, Mr. Chair, there is no specific date indicated.
So we can move it by one day, okay na yun?
Technically, yes.
No, but what would be the recommendation of the TWG if that's the case? Should we decide to extend?
Sir, allow me first, sir, to read the travel guidelines to Osami, sir.
Sige, let's do that first.
The travel permission. So I'm checking the website right now. Osamis is under alert level 2, December 1 to 14. So they will be the LGU is requiring vaccination card only, sir, and a negative RT-PCR result. So basically, travel restriction is not that stringent in Osami, sir.
I'm sorry, again?
Sir,
so you need RT-PCR?
They only require RT-PCR results and They can also allow fully vaccinated persons to travel to Osami, sir.
So which is not really, I mean, it's not peculiar to the area because a lot of areas are of the same situation. Sige. But going forward to the question of Ma'am Joyce, should we grant this? How many days are we talking about?
Considering, sir, that this is an urgent project as well, the OTR downloaded project, the maximum date we can grant this, sir, is until November. We can extend until November 22, sir. That is on Monday. In order for them to have like the weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to conduct the site visit.
Okay. What do you think, members? Okay ba sa inyo? Monday? Ako, in particular, I have no objection. Considering maikli lang naman yung bibigay nating additional time.
I have no objection in my case, Chair.
Thank you, ma'am.
Same
If
here,
there's no...
Mr. Chair.
Okay. So, that no objection, siguro we'll consider that a motion for approval. Okay lang po ba?
Mr. Chair, the TWG
Yes.
would like to recommend to grant the request for extension of Uplift Construction Corporation and to move the deadline for the submission of bids and the opening on November 22, 2021, 2 p.m.
With no further extension.
With no further
Okay.
extensions.
Sige. Let's have a motion, please. Proper motion for it.
Through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I so move to grant the request of Uplift Construction and Development Corporation to extend the submission of the bids.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Sorry, until November 22, 2021.
Yes.
Ah,
All right. 2022. 2021.
sorry.
All right. Is there any second?
Second.
Thank you. There being motion duly seconded, the motion for extension is hereby granted, and the opening of bids is ordered deferred until and rescheduled on the 22nd of November 2021 with no further extension. Secretariat, kindly make the necessary postings for this and make sure it is posted as soon as possible so that we don't get any further complaints about scheduling. Thank you. Meron ba?
No other matters from TWG, Mr. Chair.
All right. From the members, do you have any other matters you would like to raise? If there's none, let's already adjourn this meeting. 3:44. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng umattend online and present, especially our members who were present there despite my absence. Thank you po for taking over the physical checking of the documents. We really appreciate it po. Maraming salamat. All right, meeting is adjourned. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Sorry, nagalit ako kanina. Good afternoon.